lighting. They look amazing, gorgeous.
Hi everyone, I am back and I am ready to do the usual, which is to review Real Housewives of Miami. What is this, like episode 6 or something? Yeah, we're gonna get into that real good, but real quick, I just want to thank and give a shout out to everybody that viewed my video, because that video was so bad. I did not realize how dead I sounded in that video until I went back into editing and started looking at it. I was like, oh my god, this is my worst video ever. I was so like, yeah, this is a nice episode. And I didn't even realize I sounded like that. Like, when you start filming yourself, you don't realize how you really sound and like how your tone of voice is until you actually like record yourself, listen back to it, edit it, and you're like, oh my god, I really sound like that. So I apologize for that, but I am back. I'm ready to do this week's episode, and I'm ready to just have a good time with you guys. So thank you, whoever was brave enough to watch that video. Thank you so much, and let's just get into it. Alright, so the episode kicks off with Julia, Martina, Nicole, Anthony, and not for nothing, these hoes are rich. Like, these girls are rich. Like, there's nothing really to say. There's nothing you really can't say. About they rich. I mean, they go into a restaurant, and Anthony, flies them. They have their own plane, and Anthony literally flies them to Key West. And they have their own private plane. They're flying to Key West just to go to a restaurant. I mean, I know they live in Miami. I'm pretty sure you could drive to Key West. Actually, I know you can. Isn't it just a bridge away? But not when you're that rich. When you're that rich, you take a plane. I have to give it to Nicole, though, even though I give her a lot because I find her boring, and I still do. But we'll get to that in a minute. But I have to say, Nicole, kudos to you for letting your man drive a plane. I couldn't do it. I would be too nervous. I'll be like, no, you're gonna kill us, you're gonna kill us. But she was okay. She sat there comfortably as he rolled the plane. I probably wouldn't have gotten the plane either. I'm sure Anthony knows what he's doing. It's like, I don't know how pilots do it. It's like your life is literally in somebody's hands. I mean, I guess you could say the same thing about driving, but you're in the air. You're not on the solid ground. So, okay, Nicole. You got a lot of camera time this episode, though. I guess production was like, Nicole's so damn boring. We got to put her in more scenes to make her look entertaining, which it kind of did. We'll get to that soon. And Nicole, I have some advice for you at the end of what you can do to spice you up. And I don't want you guys to think I hate Nicole, because I'm sure she's a perfectly nice person. It's just that I'm not interested. But anyway, next. Okay, so the next scene shows Lisa going to the sugar factory with her kids. I heard the sugar factory has terrible food. I don't know, you guys let me know. There's plenty of sugar factories. Like, I live in New York, so I've seen sugar factories before, but I've never been in there. I heard it just looks like a place with fancy drinks, and it's just the friggin' dry ice that makes it look all, smoky. But is the food even good there? But anyway, so Lisa and her crazy kids are at the sugar factory. Let me tell you guys, I cannot have children. I cannot do it. It's too much of a headache. I'm prone to headaches. It's just something that I am not into. Lenny still thinks she doesn't do anything. I hate when people say that about moms, because being a mom's the hardest thing in the world. Lisa did sign up to be that stay at home while Lenny works his 12-hour shifts as a doctor, but it doesn't mean she doesn't do anything. It's very different. And I know if Lenny would trade places with Lisa, he would gladly go back to the operating room and cut people's chests open. He wouldn't want to stay with those kids all day, every day. I'm just saying. I'd rather cut people's chests open all day long than deal with a bunch of kids. I'm just saying. But her kids are cute, and her son looks just like her. Both their kids look a lot like her, actually. I would say the daughter has, like, Lenny's head more, but those kids really look like her, which is a good thing, because she's a good-looking woman. Anyway, so during this scene, and I'm going to bring this up a lot during this whole episode, the editing. And I love what Peacock, and I can't remember what the production company's called, like Pop Entertainment. I so far have loved the way they've produced this show, and I still do. But the editing was so off. It was so obvious that like so many scenes were cut out. Because okay, Lisa sits down with her kids, they order food, literally in a split second they finish eating and they're leaving. All of that in between was cut out, and I get it. You know, you got to get to the important stuff, which is what I like. I wish Zeus Network would do that, but this is not about Zeus Network. But it just, the cuts were too raw. Whoever was doing the transitions, I don't know. It was too raw, because it was like, okay, I want chicken fingers and fries, and then it's like, okay, bro, let's go, let's get up and go. So the editing, and that comes up a lot. I didn't really care for, but whatever. Lisa and her kids, nothing really happened. All right, Alexia and Marisol. I love the friendship duo between the two. They're really cute. They discussed the whole Todd and Peter conversation. I did end up reading, I think it was a bit from what Todd posted online, and that conversation was about 2 hours long. It makes sense, because even that was edited weird, because they go from screaming to hugging it out. That was weird, but whatever. And then she talks about the Todd and Peter situation. We all know what happened last week. I don't really get into that. I did understand where Todd was coming from, but he was just doing a lot, you know. But I do feel kind of silly defending Peter, and I don't, like, it's not that I take back what I said, because I do believe that the reason why Peter behaves is because of that. But last week, if you guys didn't know, Peter was arrested for allegedly beating the hell out of his girlfriend. Like, Peter, you make it so hard to defend you. I'm like one of the few people out there that defends you, and you can do that, allegedly. I can't wait to hear Alexia's like commentary or reaction on that during the reunion, which I heard it's about to be filmed, so I'm excited. I wonder how many episodes this season is, because usually when they film the reunion, it's towards the end of the season. So maybe we're like mid to halfway. We're like halfway through, maybe 3/4 way through to this season. I hope it's not like an 8-episode season, because this is only season 4. I know it's a reboot, but still, I don't know. But I would love to see these ladies back. Let's just say that. All right, let me move on. So yeah, she talks about what the Peter and Todd situation, and then this part made me really sad. And this is why this goes back to what I was saying last week. Alexia talks about how Peter says things to Alexia like, if this didn't happen to Frankie, I would be able to do this with Frankie. I'd be able to do that with Frankie. I'd be able to do, like, that's what I was saying last week. And then Alexia pretty much said what I said. Like, Peter, it's like this denial. It's like he's still hurting at the fact that he's not going to get the brother that he used to have. Because Frankie is essentially gone. It's just a different person now. This is who he was. This Frankie is not who Frankie was. That Frankie is dead and gone. Now it's a new person that's entered to his body, and they have to get used to that person. I'm not trying to disrespect Frankie, because I think it's a miracle that his head could be like run over by a car and he could still walk and talk. That's amazing, but it's frustrating. But also, Peter, you also need to grow up a bit. I know you want your brother back and you want to do the little immature brother stuff, but those days are gone, and you need to really like grow up now. Like, grow up, please. So anyway, next, Gertie. Nothing really happened this first part of the episode, so I'm just gonna breeze through it. But I do want to touch on Gertie talking about the earthquake in Haiti, and she's throwing an event in honor of her brother's death and his nieces. I take the earthquake in Haiti very seriously, so I'm with Gertie with that. Okay, so Larsa does a photo shoot for her jewelry line, and she's going to be on the cover of Harper's Bazaar. Okay, Larsa, cool. And I forgot the jewelry line is called. Larsa Marie. I don't know. I'm somebody I'm really getting into jewelry. I like fine jewelry. Like, this is real gold, like, and diamonds. I don't know how to feel about celebrity jewelry lines, because they're all like gold plated at most, and they're all gonna rust and look all tarnished eventually. I mean, I like costume jewelry. I don't know what type of jewelry it is, but hey, it'll make her money. She's Arsa. Okay, she does the Harper's Bazaar shoot. She brings her daughter Sophia, which I thought was cute, and she brought Kiki. I like how we're seeing more of Kiki. I don't think she's a friend of the show. I think she's just a guest because she doesn't have confessionals and she's not there enough where I could be like, yeah, she's a friend of the show. But maybe we'll see more of her in more seasons to come. Okay, so I put Nicole's in a lot of scenes because we're not even halfway through the episode. And Nicole's in another scene. Her and Nicole and Lisa get together, and Lisa talks about planning a girls' pajama party. Okay, and then she talks to Lisa about reconciling with her dad. Lisa, if you want to be more entertaining, you gotta bring your dad on the show. I mean, I think your dad is, I'm supposed to say this, he's a hot mess to say the least. I mean, I wouldn't want him to be my dad, but if you, it's like what Candy Burris does on Atlanta. She knows she's not that entertaining. Sorry, Candy fans, but she's not. I don't hate Candy, but it's the truth. She's not that entertaining. So she got Todd, Mama Joyce, the kids, her aunties. She brings them all because she knows they come with that energy. Your dad is gonna make good TV. I'm just saying, but we'll get to that. All right, so then they briefly talk about Alexia being very tense, and then they flash back to when they were at Barry's boot camp and Alexia was just being really tense. I thought that scene was oddly edited in because they didn't show it. Obviously, they do a flashback, but it was like such a small like snippet of the conversation. I didn't really see how Alexia was like being over the top. Yeah, she was over top. I didn't see it, so I would like to see like at least 10 seconds more of that clip. But whatever. Okay. So then the scene skips over, and so I mean by the rough cut editing, it's like, okay, we go for them dinner, and then right away the penthouse pajama party begins. It's like I didn't see that in between where like Lisa's calling up all the girls saying, hey, I'm throwing an event, like what they did with Larsa via FaceTime later this episode. And I guess there was just so much to squeeze in one episode that they had to cut, but the hard cuts was just too much because how do we go from Lisa sitting down with Nicole and then cut to days later, the party's already set up, but whatever. Okay, so Lisa gets this penthouse at the Faena, and these girls got money. So it's $50,000 a night. You heard me, $50,000 a night, not 15. At first I thought he said 15. I was like, oh, that's not that bad, like 15. No, $50,000 a night. It's 2 floors, and a rooftop. I thought a penthouse was a rooftop, but no, there's a rooftop on the rooftop because the penthouse is already on the roof, and then you got the rooftop on the rooftop. And it had the butler services and everything, and so much food. The penthouse was nice, and like I said, it cost $50,000 a night. Now I know why Lenny worked so hard, because Lisa, girl, you are expensive. It's not easy for a plastic surgeon to pay $50,000 a night for you to stay with your friends at a penthouse. So Lenny got a lot of chest to cut open, I'll tell you that much. But I want to know where they get their money from. I mean, yes, Lenny is a plastic surgeon, but doctors, yes, have money, but that much money, where they could afford a home on Star Island and spend $50,000 a night at the penthouse? I don't know. I know they have the med spa, but like for them to have the lifestyle they're having, Lenny must be coming in with like $50 million a year. That's a lot of chest to cut open. Anyway, all right, so this part made me kind of sad. Adriana reveals that she clings on to her friends so much because she's lonely. And it reminded me, it's like she doesn't have Frederick anymore. I don't know where her son is. I'm sure he's about grown now at this point. Adriana's in that house alone, so I do get it. But all I can say about the Adriana and Julia relationship is just shaking my head. I'm over it. I don't want to see the weird flirting anymore. Adriana, girl, you said you don't want to get Martina mad anymore, but then you like all up in Julia's face. Girl, pick one. Okay? So Gertie goes out. So all the girls meet up in the penthouse. All of them are kicking it, laughing, chilling, yada yada. Gertie and Nicole goes out. Nicole gets another scene. I'm not mad at you, Nicole, but you really, you were killing it with the scenes this episode. It's like production was like, come on, we gotta bring Nicole in. And it's halfway through the season and she's still not doing nothing. So they bring her out with Gertie. Gertie reveals to Nicole that the venue bailed out. Because in the scene with Gertie, when Gertie was talking about prior, when she's talking about the event she wants to do for to raise money for the victims of the earthquake in Haiti, Alexia calls her and says, I found a wedding venue. So now fast forward, the wedding venue, Gertie had everything prepared, the catering, everything, and then the venue bails out. I don't think it's the end of the world, and Gertie said herself she could find somewhere else, and I know she can. But she has to tell Alexia, so she's going to tell Alexia during the night. And then as that scene is playing, it cuts to Marisol and Alexia talking about the wedding and all the stress that Alexia has. Alexia, you are taking this wedding way too far. This is your third wedding. Like, you're talking about things like, oh, 4 bars. She only has 4 bars and 4 bartenders. That's not enough. How many bartenders and bars are you expecting to have? This is your third wedding. You don't need all of this stuff. On top of that, if it's 150 people, 1 bar should be fine, really. Is 150 people all gonna crowd around the bar at once? No. You don't, like, you're complaining that she didn't give you enough bars. How many bars do you need? 10? Like, she's really getting on my nerves with this wedding thing, because it's like, if this is her first wedding, I would completely understand. But you done had 2 marriages already. You had 2 weddings already. You have 2 boys already that are grown. It's not like your sons are going to be the ring bearer. They're grown men now. His daughters, Todd's daughters, are pretty much grown. Who are you doing this wedding for? You're stressing about venues and this and that, but you didn't even give Gertie a deposit. I was with Gertie. It's like Gertie could easily find another beach venue. I mean, it's Miami. There's a million beach venues. But you didn't even give it a deposit yet. So why is Gertie going to do all of this cartwheeling around, flipping all over the place to accommodate you when you're not even paying her? Gertie's working for free right now. Like, Alexia, like, at this point, I feel like Alexia is just finding an excuse not to work with Gertie. Because I don't think she ends up working with Gertie in the end, because she got married in Paris. I think she's just buying time and doing this for a storyline. I just think that, like, she doesn't really want to work with Gertie. I don't know if she even really genuinely likes Gertie. I just feel like she's making excuses. Like, you hired a wedding planner to do the things that, for your wedding, so you won't be stressed out. You're stressing out and talking about all types of food and tasting and all this stuff, and Marisol is being your little guard dog and speaking on behalf of you, saying she hasn't gotten to do her wedding cake, testing it, this, that, whatever. Gertie is a wedding planner. She's supposed to set all that up. If she's setting that up, why are you stressing about it? You said out your mouth that you trust her. So if you trust her, let Gertie do her job. Her resume speaks for herself. I don't think I need to say any more about that. Larsa, okay, so the girls are out on the rooftop, and then Larsa FaceTimes the girls, and, you know, she says that she couldn't make it because of her jewelry launch, and then she invites the girls out to the Hamptons the following week. So that's going to go into the next episode. And then she's going to get them a jet. So I'm excited, and I'm curious to see if she does follow through with that jet and fly out all the girls to New York on a private jet. I want to see that. Okay, these girls are just so fabulous. Okay, so then the girls all get ready to go to a cabaret show. This is what Jocelyn's cabaret should be, but Jocelyn doesn't understand the concept or even know what a cabaret is. But this is not about Jocelyn's cabaret. But Jocelyn, take note. That's all I'm saying. From My Love and Hip Hop, y'all know Jocelyn. She's on Zeus now. She has this ratchet show called Jocelyn's Cabaret, but it's not a cabaret. It's just terrible choreography that Jocelyn doesn't even know how to teach. But why am I going into rants about that? The cabaret show was fun. Lisa, Let me start over. So they're at the cabaret show. Lisa gets on stage all drunk, and she says that Julia is her fetish. And all the girls were kind of picking at Julia. I guess they were trying to like get a rise out of Adriana, which they kind of did. Because Adriana starts to get jealous. I'm like, Adriana, you're getting on my nerves a bit now. Like, whatever, Adriana, whatever. So the girls skip now to, they go back to the penthouse, and they wear these beautiful pajamas, might I add. I love those pajamas. I wanted to wear them myself. I don't know where she got them from. Probably can't afford it. Those were nice pajamas. Anyway, so Gertie tells Alexia that the wedding venue bailed out. Alexia starts to cry. Alexia, why are you crying? You know, I had to give it to Gertie, because I can never be a wedding planner, because I can't deal with the drama and the tears and all this stuff that comes with a wedding, because I'm sure she's seen it a million times before when the bride is freaking out and crying because she's not getting her way. It couldn't be me. I wouldn't have the tolerance for that. I'm like, get over it. Anyway. So then Lisa comes in. Here's another awkward editing. So Lisa comes in with her bananas and whipped cream. As soon as she sits down, all of a sudden all the girls magically appear around her. The editing was just too harsh. She went from Lisa coming in saying, I'm gonna make these girls feel better, bring in bananas and whipped cream, and you cut to all the girls scattered around the room. Like, if you're gonna cut, at least cut to the part where Lisa's like, okay girls, come on in, we're gonna play a game. But no, it went from Lisa walking in, she sits down, boom, all the girls are sitting in the room with her. It just didn't flow right. And then they do some truth or dare, another weird editing moment, because Julia, her dare was to feed an almond with her teeth to another girl. She picks Lisa, and you know, they do it. And Adriana gets jealous. You know, choose wisely, Julia. Choose wisely. She all getting jealous. Adriana, I don't want to say I pity her, because I don't like saying that word, because I don't want it to seem like that I look down upon her, because I don't look down upon any of these girls, actually. Even Nicole, I find her boring, but Nicole, like in real life, I'm sure Nicole's a perfectly nice person. I just think she's kind of boring. But with Adriana, I just feel like she's so desperate, and she kind of said it already in the episode. Adriana, this whole jealousy thing, I think you need a man. That's all I can say. Adriana, you need a man. You just need a man. You need somebody to comfort you at night. I think you're really lonely. I think you're really sad. Like, not as like you're sad on the inside. I think there's something lacking. Because Julia, and towards the end of this episode, says she's never leaving Martina. She's really having Martina, and I believe that, but Martina, stop with the flirting, please. Stop. But, with Adriana, it's like her son's grown, her ex-husbands all left her, she's in the house alone, she's relying on Julia, but Julia's married. You can't put that much, you can't be that needy to a friend when they're married. You can't. But anyway, so after Julia feeds Lisa the almonds and Adriana gets jealous, I wrote, watch out for Martina, because Martina's gonna come around the corner with a tennis racket, and she's gonna come and be ready to show you guys her serve that she won awards for. You guys gotta be careful with that. But this is where I said the editing was weird, because it's like, okay, after they feed each other almonds, they have a little side talk. Adriana shows her jealousy, and then it's over. Okay, party's over. Going to bed now. It's like, I know that each one of those girls are the truth or dare. Maybe it wasn't as entertaining, but it literally did. They fed each other almonds. Adriana showed a tiny bit of jealousy for 10 seconds, and then they're like, okay, everybody got up and went to bed. Like, the editing was just too harsh. I would say production-wise, this was my least favorite episode because production just hard edited too much. It was like, I get you wanted to jam everything in one episode, but you could have kept something like when Lisa came in that room, you could have kept the part where she's like, okay girls, come on in, and then cut to all the girls in the room, because it just didn't flow right. But anyway, all right, so the party is over, the penthouse party is over. Now we're flipping on to Nicole. Another scene with Nicole. Nicole started this episode and she ended this episode, so kudos to Nicole for getting so much camera time. So her dad walks in. Like I said before, Nicole, you're gonna have, your dad really is, I mean, your dad doesn't seem like the best dad, to say the least, but you're gonna have to bring him on because he's entertaining. That's all I could say about him. But her dad walks in with his suit and these dark glasses and with a big thing of flowers. Nicole's like, take off your glasses. And then it was just this crazy conversation. Because then, you know, they talk and, you know, things are edited out, I can tell, fine. But they talk and then out of nowhere, he's like, oh, you have one kid, unfortunately. I have more than one kid, fortunately. And then he's like, I have 4 kids that you know of. I was like, this is so creepy. What? So, do you have another baby on the way? Or are you just being stupid? Like, and then Nicole looks uncomfortable, and I feel bad for Nicole. I'm like, is your dad this childish? Is he going around town really shooting women's clubs up, or he just trying to be scandalous? And he just seems so like incoherent. Like, yeah, he seemed drunk, because it's like, are you just drunk talking? Because like the conversation just seems so scattered and out of nowhere. And then he's like, you have 1 kid and I only have 4 kids that you know of. And I'm just like, and then Nicole's like, please don't reproduce that. He's just like all over the place, and I'm just like, what? But that was the most entertaining scene Nicole has had, because that scene when she had earlier in the episode with her and Lisa, that was just like, and Lisa, you kind of boring now too. But, you know, we're getting somewhere with Nicole. So that's all I have for the episode. I actually am looking forward to seeing more of Nicole and her dad. Nicole is coming off more interesting, I guess, because her dad is turning everything up. So I'm not gonna say shout out to her dad, but I was just like, 4 kids that you know, like, ew. But anyway, that's all I have for this week. I again thank everybody that watched last week and the people that are supporting me. My channel is growing, and I appreciate people that are going back to my videos and watching the past ones, because those views are going up. I'm very grateful. Thank you guys for just sticking by me and watching. And I'm still learning this YouTube thing. I'm still growing. I'm still trying to expand, and I'm trying to learn editing. I'm trying really, really hard. I know I have a long way to go, but I just appreciate every view, every like I get. So with that being said, I'll see everybody next week. I am thinking about reviewing the One More Chance reunion. I'm not looking forward to it, but I want to expand more. And the One More Chance reunion, I know it's gonna be a ratchet mess. That's why I'm like, ugh, it's gonna be a headache to write notes and, you know, organize that. But whatever, I want to do what is going to make my audience happy. So if you have any suggestions, let me know. Please like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you.